Hi, this is Weekly Reflections, and I'm Nancy Joy, back at you. Um, there's a guy who sends a daily business blog. His name is Seth Godin. I guess that's how you pronounce it. And he had a great line I wanted to share with you to take me into what I wanted to explain to you today. The tried and true is beyond reproach. It's been tried, and of course, it's true. True because it worked. In times of change, though, most of the tried is in fact false. False because what used to work doesn't work any longer. The nature of revolutions is that they destroy the perfect and enable the impossible. Seeking the tried and true is the wrong direction for crazy times. Well, we are really in crazy times, depending on which side of the crazy you are, I suppose. I kind of see the whole field with the people that contact me and my clients and what I am experiencing in my life. So I don't know about you, but I found this to be very true and more and more and more true as time goes on. And recently it's very true, is speeding up. All the old ways we respond to things, the old paradigm in our mind, one by one, they aren't working. And people are getting so creative, making such amazing changes and creating a new way to do something. Not because they necessarily are saying this is the new reality, I have to do things in a new way, but because they bump into a roadblock was this is not working. And so they change something, create something. Those who are struggling the most right now are the ones that are hanging on to a perception of a paradigm in their mind that is already collapsed. It's probably already gone. And I love when he says the nature of revolutions is that they just destroy what's perfect. I had an engineer tell me one time, if it ain't broke, don't fix it. And I laughed because I thought, well, we'd never improve anything with that attitude. We'd still be churning butter like this because it works, right? We'd be walking instead of driving our beautiful hybrids and air conditioning because walking worked, right? So this is the kind of thing, but it's very dramatic right now. And one example I'd like to share with you is the people of Cyprus back, whenever that was, 6 months ago or so. They followed the old paradigm. They saved, they invested, they had their money in a safe place in a bank, and they were planning for what might happen and for a future. And it was all gone one day, just out of nowhere, all their rights gone, everything gone, their money gone, kind of like what happened to Enron. These people spent their lives investing in this wonderful, supposedly utility company, and they lost everything in a heartbeat. But the magic thing is, and the good thing is, that what they created for themselves was the fact that this doesn't work anymore. And what Cypress showed the world in their lesson is this doesn't work anymore. You may think you have this investment and that investment, and maybe it'll be there and maybe it won't. It doesn't work anymore like it used to. That's very, very obvious. So think of the law of attraction. When you're trying to break out of an old pattern, think of the law of attraction. If you're vibrating source and the knowing that you can create and attract whatever you need whenever you need it, if that's your belief and you're vibrating under that, then things are going to work so much better. Even if you can't see it, know it, touch it, you have a sense that it's working, and sure enough, it works. And this is the stuff that change and revolution are made out of. You don't get anywhere by being downtrodden in the thing that no longer works. It makes sense. And the law of attraction is your way of zapping yourself out of it if you're conscious. And so think of this now as that you have a revolution. Everybody's having a revolution inside themselves. They're destroying old patterns and old ways of thinking that no longer work for them. If you're not creating what you want, if you're not happy right now in this moment, if your needs aren't met in this moment, I'm not talking about what you're afraid of in a week or 2 weeks, in this moment. If you're in this moment and you're unhappy, depressed, stuck, not flowing, not creating, it's because you're missing this piece. You haven't recreated a different thought form in your mind. You're not attracting a different thing in your mind. And that's really very important. It's kind of like all bets are off now. All old contracts that used to work, even old agreements, as I read an article on Sheldon Neidel's site today, and I can't remember who she was quoting there, Colleen, but it was about all, it's like all bets are off. All these old agreements and all these old karma, everything, it's off. It's kind of like I said last week, we've reset to zero time. We were missing those 12 minutes, and now we've reset to zero time. So, a good example of this was a couple stayed with us last week for a number of days. They're old friends of ours. And they had a very difficult experience happening to them in their lives. And 3 or 4 months after that, they said, you know what? This isn't life. And so they auctioned everything off, sold the house, sold the land, and they hit the road. And for about 4 years now, they have been traveling all over, wherever they're guided to go. They rent a place and live in a place for 6 months, and then, or 4 months, or a week, and then they move on. And they've been creating, and their needs are met. They're really off the grid in the way of, they don't need a post office box, right? Because they have a debit card, they can get online, and it's just such an amazing thing because they've created for themselves this life and they have lots of time to research, to experience, to think things through. And so they're so fascinating to talk to because they had come from the new paradigm. I'm not suggesting that it's for everyone to sell everything and hit the road. That's not everybody's path. But what it does show you is that you can set yourself free. On the dolphin boat a couple weeks ago in Bimini, a new friend, her name is Terry. We called her She Who Runs Deep. We were doing card readings, and she made this statement. She said, it's not about free will. It's about freeing your will. And as you think of that, when you say, well, you have free will, but your will is a construct of your mind and your ego, and it's almost a stubbornness. You're willing something to happen instead of creating it with feeling, with energy. It's a whole different thing. So when you free your will, you free that energy up. You're moving out of the box like these people moved, out of that life box that was no longer serving him. Like I mentioned, my husband, he stepped out of his 3D job box, and whatever box you step out of, you begin to create something new and something exciting. I'm at the age where friends of ours are retiring, but instead of thinking of retiring, many of them are creating new things. They're having these great experiences, going on new adventures. They're not sitting playing golf or cards or something and watching shows. They are out there doing things, and that's the new energy now. It's the new energy of creation, and it's not the tried and true, but it is what's creating the inner revolution. And thank you Egypt, thank you Greece, thank you Spain, thank you Iceland for creating a whole new way of being in front of our eyes, so we could learn, we could grow, we could look at it. So look all around you. I suggest you look all around you and find where exciting things are happening and people are creating a new reality instead of trying to keep putting energy into something that may not ever work and probably won't. And so this really frees up a lot of energy. It frees up a lot of space for you to do what you want to do. So catch the magic this week. Join your inner revolution. Do not allow your mind to make you comply. Set yourself free. The Borg were wrong. You do not need to comply. You need to create. So it's an amazing time. Catch the magic. Enjoy your week, and we'll see you again next week. Bye.